Hello, it's Sunday again, and we're going to continue The Wizard of Oz. Last time, you remember that the winged monkeys took them to the Emerald City after they destroyed the witch, put the Tin Man back together, banged them together, I should say, and also they stuffed the Scarecrow full of fresh straw, so they're all ready to go to see The Wizard of Oz. Let's continue. Chapter 13, Oz the Terrible. Dorothy and her friends walked up to the gate of the Emerald City and rang the bell. After they rang many times, the guardian of the gate answered the bell. "What, are you back again?" he asked in surprise. "We certainly are," answered the Scarecrow. "But I thought you had gone to find the Wicked Witch of the West," said the guardian of the gate. "We did find her," said the Scarecrow, "and Dorothy melted her away." "Melted? Well, that's good news," said the guardian of the gate. He led them into his little room and gave them all green eyeglasses, just as he had done before. Then they passed through the big gates into the Emerald City. When the guardian of the gate told the people that Dorothy had melted the Wicked Witch of the West, they all gathered around the travelers and followed them in a great crowd to the Palace of Oz. Once they reached the palace gates, the soldier with the green beard greeted them and carried the news of their arrival to the Great Oz. Dorothy thought that once he heard the news, the Great Oz would send for her and at once, but he did not. Dorothy and her friends waited for many days, but still heard nothing from the Great Oz. The waiting was tiresome, and at last they grew angry at Oz for treating them so badly. So the Scarecrow sent a message to Oz, which said that if he did not see them at once, they would call the winged monkeys to help them and find out whether he kept his promises or not. When the wizard was given this message, he was so frightened that he sent word for them to come to the throne room at 4 minutes after 9 o'clock the next morning. Oz had met the winged monkeys once, and he knew their power. He was very afraid of meeting with them again. The four travelers found it difficult to sleep that night. Each thought of the gift Oz had promised to give them. Dorothy fell asleep, dreaming of Kansas and her Aunt Em. At 9 o'clock the next morning, the soldier with the green beard came to escort them to the throne room. Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Lion all expected to see the wizard in the shape he had taken before. They were all surprised when they saw that the room was empty. Soon they heard a voice that seemed to come from somewhere near the top of the great dome, and it said solemnly, "I am the Great Oz, the great and terrible. Why do you seek me?" They looked again in every part of the room and still saw no one. Dorothy asked, "Where are you?" "I am everywhere," answered the voice. "But if you wish to talk to me, walk near the throne." So they walked towards the throne, and Dorothy said, "We have come to claim our promises." "What promises?" asked Oz. Dorothy repeated the wizard's promise to send her back to Kansas, and to give the Tin Man a heart, the Scarecrow brains, and the Lion courage. "Is the Wicked Witch really destroyed?" asked the voice. "Yes," answered Dorothy. "I melted her with a bucket of water." "Dear me," said the voice. "How sudden!" "Well, come to me tomorrow, for I must have time to think it over." This made the Scarecrow and the Tin Man very angry, and they began to shout at the Great Oz, and they demanded that he keep his promises to them. The Lion thought that he might as well frighten the Wizard, so he gave a large roar. This was so frightening that Toto jumped away from him and tipped over a screen that stood in the corner of the room. As it fell with a crash, they looked and saw a very strange thing. For, standing in just the spot the screen had hidden, was a little old man with a bald head and a wrinkled face. The man seemed just as surprised as Dorothy and her friends. The Tin Man raised his axe and rushed towards the little man and shouted, "Who are you?" "I am the Great Oz, great and terrible," said the little man with a trembling voice. But please don't hit me. Please don't. And I will do anything you want." Dorothy and her friends were surprised and upset. "We thought Oz was a great head, a ball of fire, a terrible beast, or a beautiful woman," said Dorothy. "No, you are wrong," said the little man. "I have been make-believe." "Making believe?" said the Tin Man. "Are you not the Great Wizard?" The little man hung his head in shame and confessed that he was only a common man who was able to perform some clever magic tricks. He asked Dorothy and her friends to sit down while he told them his strange story. Oh, we'll continue this next Sunday, Chapter 14. It's called The Magic of the Great Oz. We'll find out what his tricks are. See you then. Thank you.